So, how does it feel to fly on my back? Tahir asked as he continued to flap his wings in the air. It feels great, actually, Soraya revealed. Once you get used to the sudden wind shifts and occasional bugs swatting in your face, it's actually pretty awesome. I agree, Yasica said with a nod. Flying on the back of someone like Tahir does feel pretty amazing. Is that so? Soraya asked with a cheeky grin on her face. I assume you've had plenty of experience riding on Tahir, huh? This caused Yasica to blush a bit before turning her face away from the princess. I knew it, Soraya thought to herself with a grin. There really is something going on between her and my brother. Hopefully I'll have a chance to learn more later. Anyways, Tahir interrupted, albeit in a polite tone. We should find the warriors who are destined to help us as soon as possible. Hopefully by then I'll be freed from Dahak's curse and finally be normal again. Yes, we should find them as soon as possible, Soraya replied. But where should we look first? There are many kingdoms around this realm, and it would be a waste of time to simply look through every one of them. Plus, there is a chance that Dahak knows we're coming for him, and will be sending his forces after us. That does sound likely, Yasica agreed nervously. Given how he has control over the Deeves who serve as his enforcers, chances are he has already sent them to attack us. Then we must go to Simurgh, Tahir suggested. Either her or even Humbawa, as they were the first to learn about the prophecy and probably know more details regarding who we should find to help us. Yes, Simurgh may be our best option, Yasica agreed. She's an ancient ally of ours and has been offering us advice on behalf of Omorazda for centuries. If anyone can help find the warriors, she can. Ah! Tahir cried out as he felt one of his wings getting pierced by something sharp, causing him to fall from the sky. Tahir! Tahir! What happened? Soraya asked with fear. Oh no, we're falling! Yasica shouted as she tried to use her healing powers to help Tahir. Here, let me heal your wings! No! Save your strength for Soraya! Just get her to safety! Tahir cried out as he attempted to gain some form of balance in the air, despite his damaged wing. Oh no! What do we do? Soraya cried out. For now, this! Yasica replied while summoning a cloud for her and Soraya to float on, much to the princess's surprise. Whoa! Soraya exclaimed as she felt Yasica pull her by the arm and onto the cloud she summoned, which felt lighter and fluffier than she expected. Tahir! Hang in there, Tahir! Yasica cried out as she summoned some wind to help Tahir land on the ground. Unfortunately, because she was still inexperienced when it came to using her wind powers, her attempts to help Tahir wasn't the best, as he still landed rather ungracefully. Oh no, Tahir! Soraya cried out as she watched her brother plummet to the ground. Don't worry, I can still... Unfortunately for Yasica, because she was trying to focus on using the wind to help Tahir, she failed to notice the strong winds blowing her way. As a result, both Soraya and Yasica ended up being forced to hang on to the cloud, with Yasica having trouble redirecting them towards Tahir. Wait, we need to get back to Tahir! Soraya pointed out. I'm trying! I can't control winds that strong! Yasica replied to her dismay. Eventually, the winds directed the two girls towards a large tree, causing them to crash right into the trunk. Ow! Soraya muttered in slight pain before she and Yasica slid off the tree and fell straight to the ground with an audible oomph. The two young ladies struggled to get back up, with Soraya feeling aches all over her body as she got back on her feet before checking on her friend. Yasica, are you alright? Soraya asked as she checked on her friend's injuries. My arm... I think it's broken, Yasica groaned as she slowly got back on her feet, clutching onto her left arm, which was hanging limply. Soraya could only gasp and stare in horror before expressing concern over what happened. Oh no, Soraya uttered. We gotta get your injuries treated, and quick! No time for that, Yasica responded as she looked around the forest they were currently standing in while attempting to ignore the pain. Come on, we gotta fight Tahir before something even more terrible happens to him. Right, Soraya agreed as the two ladies ran across the forest to find the injured Gryphon. Thankfully, the forest wasn't too deep, nor was it full of wild beasts that were itching to kill or devour them, but the duo couldn't risk staying inside any more than they could. They had to fight Tahir before whatever shot him in the sky could finish the job. I hope he's alright, Yasica muttered in fear. If it was a thief that shot us down, we don't stand a chance. Hey, now, I'm sure we could take it on if we all work together, Soraya assured Yasica, despite her own fears. Tahir's a strong guy. I'm sure he can... A roar was heard in the background, alerting the two young ladies almost immediately. Given how the only other beasts that could roar in such a manner were lions and griffins, it was obvious to the duo as to who made that sound. "What's that?" Soraya asked in shock. "Tahir!" Yasica cried out as she ran towards the source of the sound. The moment they finally arrived at the scene, they were greeted by the sight of a young man wearing what appeared to be a hunting outfit, shooting arrows at Tahir. Beside him was a black Saluki dog who kept growling and barking at Tahir while snapping his jaws at the human-turned beast. Hunting dog aside, Soraya ran towards the hunter in an attempt to stop him. "Wait! Don't kill him!" she cried out as she tried to stop the hunter from attacking Tahir any further. Unfortunately, because the hunter did not expect anyone to interfere with his work, he accidentally shot an arrow at Soraya, to which she barely dodged in time. As for Yasica, who was right behind her, she was able to use her remaining hand to summon enough wind to redirect the arrow and cause it to hit another tree, where it remained embedded the entire time. However, because Soraya's attempts to dodge the arrow still managed to nick her soldier, it caused a minor wound that started bleeding almost immediately. The moment Tahir saw his sister bleeding and smelled her blood, he began to see red and roared once again before lunging towards the hunter. Before, he was holding back and trying to find a way to escape the hunter's arrows, as he didn't want to hurt him. But the moment the hunter shot at Soraya and injured her, all bets were off, and he decided to repay the man in blood. "You hurt my sister!" he roared as he pounced on the distracted hunter, pinning him to the ground while glaring daggers at him. His eyes became thin slits, which resembled a cat's eyes or even a lizard's, while his claws were extended to keep the hunter from escaping. "You can talk?" the hunter asked in genuine surprise, only to receive a growl in return. The hunter's dog attempted to save his master by running towards Tahir, only to receive a glare in return and a snarl that scared the dog for the first time. "I can do more than just that," Tahir growled as he opened his beak, revealing sharp teeth that could easily rip skin off its prey. "You attacked me out of nowhere, injured my wing to the point where I can't fly, and now you dare to attack my sister and her friend for trying to save me? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't bite your face off." "I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a sister, let alone a human one. I thought you were just an ordinary griffin," the hunter replied while struggling to escape from the now angry griffin. "Wrong answer," Tahir snarled before opening his beak and preparing to kill the hunter. The hunter could only panic and breathe in fear as he saw his life flash before his eyes. However, as Tahir was inches away from literally biting his head off. "Tahir, stop!" Soraya pleaded, causing Tahir to immediately halt in his attempts at killing the hunter. The hunter himself could only stare in complete shock and terror, sweat pouring down his forehead the entire time. "Tahir, that's enough!" Yasica pleaded. "He's learned his lesson. Please just let him go." "But he hurt both of you," Tahir pointed out. "He attacked us for no reason and got you both injured." "Okay, first of all, that was an accident," the hunter insisted. "I thought you kidnapped those girls and planned on eating them." "What?" Tahir cried out in shock and annoyance. "What made you think that?" "Because it happened with some other griffins me and my family hunted," the hunter revealed. "There were some villages that got attacked by wild animals such as lions, tigers, bears, manticores, rocks, and even griffins. I thought you were planning on eating those girls you had on your back, hence why I shot you out of the sky. If I had known you were sentient and therefore harmless, I wouldn't have tried to kill you. I'm sorry." "Are you sure? How do we know you're not associated with the Deeves or even Dahak?" Tahir asked suspiciously. The moment Tahir mentioned those names, the hunter stiffened up before scowling. "What did you just say?" the hunter asked. "Did you just say Dahak?" "Yes, I did," Tahir confirmed him. "Do you know him?" "Know him? I hate him!" the hunter replied, causing Tahir to become surprised and get off of him. As the hunter got back up, he massaged his arms before brushing the dust off himself. "What? You hate Dahak as well?" Soraya asked with surprise. "Of course I do," the hunter insisted. "Dahak ruined my family, along with having ruined the lives of so many other people. I don't think there's a single person in Avesta who actually likes the guy. And if there were, the only ones who would want to work for him, other than those damn monsters he always employs, are the many brigands, criminals, slavers, and nobles he manages to bribe into accepting him as their leader. I made it my life's goal to put an end to Dahak's reign of terror if it's the last thing I do." The trio could only stare in surprise to hear such vicious yet impassioned words from someone who attacked them earlier. But upon retrospect, the hunter seemed genuine about his hatred towards the foul sorcerer, and if he was an enemy to Dahak, then maybe he could be an ally to them. Of course, Tahir was still a bit reluctant to trust the hunter due to what happened between them and stood in front of Soraya and Yasica with his guard up. Look, I'm sorry about the whole mix, but please, just let me help you guys, the hunter insisted with his dog standing by his side. Let me treat your wounds and bring you to my home. It's the least I can do after I accidentally ruined your flight and hurt you guys. No, thank you, Tahir declined curtly as he turned around to leave. We'll be on our way without you interrupting us any further. Oh, come on, Tahir, Soraya insisted. He said he was sorry. Besides, he also hates Dahak as much as we do. Maybe we can use this to our advantage. Are you serious? He attacked us out of paranoia and almost got us killed, Tahir objected. His actions almost ruined the prophecy we were meant to fulfill. Wait, what prophecy? The hunter asked in confusion. None of your damn business, Tahir growled while glaring at the hunter, who raised his hands in surrender. Okay, sorry, he apologized. Besides, we don't know if we could trust him, Tahir continued in a hushed tone. We don't even know his name or where he lives. I know you want to believe he can help us, but we need to be cautious about this. But he has a dog, Soraya pointed out. If he was truly evil, he wouldn't have a pet dog like I did, or at least one who is just as loyal as Marosh. Soraya, I get that you like dogs because of Marosh, but you can't just assume this guy is trustworthy because he has a dog, Tahir replied in exasperation. Oh, come on, lighten up a little, Soraya insisted. Let's just give this guy a chance. Other than the sudden ambush, which was an accident on his part, he's offering to help us out of the goodness of his heart and to make up for what he did. Besides, if we were to leave now in our injured states, wouldn't that just allow for the D's and other criminal scum to get the drop on us? She does make a good point, Yasica agreed to Tahir's shock and dismay. My arm is broken and I can't exactly heal us without both my hands. Plus, we lost some of the food supplies we had earlier thanks to the strong winds and the crash that ensued. It would be best for us to give this man the benefit of the doubt since he seems to be genuine in his offer. Despite Tahir wanting to argue against letting someone like the hunter help them, even though he was the one who caused their injuries to begin with, he glanced at both his sister and friend, who were adamant in letting the hunter help them. Though he himself remained distrustful towards the hunter for attacking and had yet to forgive him for getting in the way of their mission, with Soraya and Yasica's injuries now helping the man's case, he took a deep breath before giving his final answer. All right, fine, Tahir conceded. I will allow this, but just so you know, I am not happy about the whole arrangement and only agreed to it because we have no other options at the moment. And as for you, if you even think about trying to backstab us, I won't hesitate to bite your head off. As he said this, he snarled once again, glaring at the terrified hunter, who could only gulp in response before nodding. Seeing that he was on thin ice regarding the irate Gryphon, and only being spared a painful demise thanks to the Gryphon's sister and his friend, he focused on trying to stay in the group's good graces. Understood, sir, the hunter replied before turning to his dog. Come on, Anzor, let's bring these guys to Madar or Pedar. Hopefully we have enough supplies to help treat their wounds. Thank you, Soraya said with a grateful tone before she, Yasica, and Tahir followed after him, with Tahir staying close to both girls just in case. I hope you know what you're doing, Tahir warned his sister in a hushed tone. If he tries anything funny with us, just say the word and I'll kill him. I don't think you need to do that, Soraya insisted. Something tells me he's not as bad as he looks. Oh, and by the way, what's your name? I didn't get a chance to ask earlier. My name? It's Nasir, the hunter revealed as he guided the group to his home. And I hope you like stew, since that's what we'll be eating for tonight.